Derick G was inside Yakui's closet. Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, downstairs, that room feels like daytime. The brightest room I've ever been in.
Oh, you got to see how he had it before. It was dope as with like galaxy shit.
Well, it's still there when you turn the lights off. It gets
it's dope.
blue and stuff.
Let me know when we're ready. Rolling. All right, let's do this. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Sporting touch of hands. Round number 1. There's that fast start, and that is the fastest knockout in bare knuckle fighting championship.
Hey, mama, no born in the Bronx, raised in Dade. Been in the city since Pit had braids. Bajapanti parties, plata know how to sneak me out. Now it's 7-figure meetings every day. We lead a house. It's game time, the game's mine. You know the vibe. Yo viajado el mundo entero, reppin' 305.
Welcome to another episode of Don't Blink Podcast. As always, I got the kid in the building.
Oh, yeah, we in here, champ.
Dog, congratulations. I heard you were at Basel.
Oh, my God.
Being the artist that you are.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It was an amazing experience. Shouts out to Jay Ramirez. Shouts out to Dab Day, Tone Setter, and everybody that was out there, Hangout Creations, man. But we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Absolutely.
You,
Today, I'm excited for this show. Got not only a great friend of mine, he was my manager in boxing at one time.
Yeah.
He actually came up with the Monster logo.
Yes.
You know, him and somebody else, we'll get into that. I'm wearing this hat. That's his also.
Yeah.
Very creative dude. Very great dude. Very great person. My boy Derick G in the building.
Wow. Hell yeah.
Great to have you in the hot seat, dog.
Crazy.
It was about time, too. You know what I mean? Derick G, baby. This legend sharing right here.
Yeah. The thing is, we needed to figure out what we're doing. To get Derick G on. Good to have you on, my brother.
Thank you, man. Congrats on 100 episodes.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I haven't seen you since you moved to the new hood.
Yeah.
To fatherhood.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that too, dog.
You,
hell yeah.
Yeah. And how have you been, man?
Good, bro. Busy.
Yeah.
Low key.
Good.
Very, very low key.
You've always been low key.
And just kind of working in the background. When you see me, you see me. But, you know, if I'm out, it's either getting paid or showing face.
He's like a 007. And he's out.
Did you see him? No, I think that was him.
Yeah. My bro, and what's new with life, man? Who you working with now?
Still doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Not working with too many artists, but working more corporate. A lot more corporate stuff, kind of handling content teams for a lot of stuff. We did a lot of cool stuff for Basel, working with Meta, working with SoundCloud. So just kind of, I guess, graduated to corporate.
That's dope.
You know,
corporate checks are good checks.
You're dealing with people spending other people's money, so it's a different animal.
Exactly, for sure. My bro, on Don't Blink, we like to highlight the guests, man, and we like to start from the beginning. You know, everybody pretty much that at least knows about you, knows you're a Hialeah cat through and through. So let's start from the beginning, man. Born and raised in Miami-Dade County. I was actually born in Mount Sinai on the beach. Okay. I lived in the Springs till I was 3. Miami Springs, right by the airport, and little gem. Little East Hialeah over there.
South Hialeah. But, and then moved to Hialeah where my mom still lives down on the west side, west of the Palmetto. And, you know, that's where I grew up. I went to Jose Marti, I went to Goldman, went to Ben Shepherd. So I'm from that area.
Yeah, straight Hialeah.
Yeah.
No, it's dope. You see a lot of like pro athletes wearing the Hialeah.
A lot of baseball players. Yeah, we bred a lot of baseball players.
Yeah, Hialeah for sure.
No, that thing took off when they dropped that.
Absolutely. And of course, Hialeah breeds a lot of baseball players come out of Hialeah. It's the Cuban melting pot over there.
I think like it was either, I forgot who I was talking to, I think like 13 right now in the MLB. They're all from Hialeah. And they get farmed out to different schools, but they're all Hialeah kids.
Yeah. Oh, what a blessing, dog, to be a Hialeah kid and all of a sudden you get $100 million to play ball.
We have a Yankee player right now.
Yeah?
Think about it.
Yeah. I did see that. I actually, what was it? It was the playoffs when the Yankees were in. And I happened to look dude up because I was like, man, this dude, like the name, just looks like a Miami dude. And I looked him up, sure enough, Hialeah, Miami dude.
He's got Hialeah on his glove too.
Does he? That's dope, man. Oh yeah, so Goldman, in Goldman, were you already kind of like into taking pictures? Were you doing that at that time?
I've been trying to get into photography since middle school, and I would always pick it as an elective, and they never gave it to me.
No shit.
The closest thing I got to anything with production in 9th grade, I got TV production, and we're still working VHSs.
Oh yeah,
back in '99. So that's the closest I ever got to any kind of schooling with photography. Yeah. So
man, we got to write a letter to the teachers and shit on them.
Well, not even. I mean, it's maybe they would have taught me stuff and I would have not liked it.
Right.
So you know, maybe life experience took it the way I had to. You know. So.
Hey, and Coño, My bad. Yeah, I was thinking about the photography in middle school. So you said you did the TV and production shit. Because I remember they had that when I was in high school. They had a lot of that too. And you were in car clubs also.
Yeah, I was in a car club. Individuals, they're based out of LA. I was the youngest member in the world at one point.
No shit.
Yeah, they were an international club. Chapters in Japan, all over the place. I don't remember exactly which one, but they used to call me Jit. So I was literally the youngest member in the world at one point. But that was back in, I've always been a car guy since I was, before I even had a car. But like I used to have the low rider Cadillac with hydraulics and all that stuff when I was younger. But yeah, I was always hanging on the parking lot in school. I always skipped, but not illegally. I had every pass, every program that lets you leave school legally and come back in and out. So I would do it the right way.
That's dope. Did you ever get into like building cars? I don't know why. It sounds like I got an echo in here, bro.
Sounds better now.
Better now. You ever get into like building?
I mean, I've always like been involved with all my car builds. Right. Big car guy.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I went to school. So part of my program actually, it's where I remember it very vividly because it's when 9/11 happened. Yeah. I used to go half the day from Goldman to Miami Lakes Tech, and I used to do, instead of electives in school, is body shop.
Oh, nice.
So I thought I was like, I'm going to work in the car industry. I love cars, and I wanted to paint cars and custom paint cars. But then, like, what schooling does that I don't like is that they teach you, like, you want to get here, but they start you here. Right. And it's like 3 years before you get here. And that whole process, like, I don't care about none of this. I just want to get here. Right. And that was, like, my biggest pet peeve. So I ended up dropping out of that. And then, funny enough, I was able to get work experience where I could leave school early. And I had all my credits, so I was able to leave after second period. So I literally go to school for an hour and a half and then go to work. And my job was at a body shop, but I didn't start work till 4:30. So I would leave a second period, and then I would have the whole day to do whatever I wanted, and then I would go to work after school anyway. So
that's awesome.
It was like a great transition out of that. But I thought, the goal was, I'm gonna work on cars, but it's too hot in Florida. It's too hot in Miami to do that for a living. So props to all the guys that do that every day.
I agree.
Like the passion's there, but the paycheck, no vale la pena for me at least.
Yeah, I agree. I need air conditioning, auto shop, dog. Yeah. Hey, and I remember when we first started working together too. You had done something with Lincoln. You had a dope ass Lincoln. So
Lincoln dropped the new Continental, and I wanted it, and I was on them from before it came out. And I was able to do something with them. I teamed up with Metro Raps, which is family, and Boston Wheels, which they're based out here, and their family as well. I told them I had done Chevy Impala with them in the past, and they liked how I did all the PR with it. So when I was like, hey, I'm going after Lincoln now, you guys want in? They were like, yo, let's do it. We actually went to the Lincoln dealership in Lincoln Doral, and we were able to work something out where I was the first person in Florida to get a car that wasn't pre-requested. Like everybody had pre-orders.
Right.
I was the first one, and funny enough, I actually got a car that belonged to somebody else before they got it.
That's what I was going to say. You took somebody's car.
Basically, they were like, hey, look, they don't know the car's here. Just take this one, and we'll get another one next week for them, and they don't have to know.
That's awesome.
But first modified Lincoln Continental in the world.
Yeah.
Recognized by Lincoln and everything.
Man, that's awesome.
Wow. Yeah. So same thing with the Impala. So funny enough, with the Impala was the first modified Chevy Impala. It was the 2014 Impala. And it was the first modified one in the world, like recognized by Chevrolet.
Which one was the 2014 Impala? Was that the
one
style?
That was the matte black one I had with the gold wheels on one side and black wheels on the other.
That's right.
One, yeah.
Man, that's Flavor Flav over here with Derick G.
You know what I mean?
All right, my bro. And did you go to college at all?
No, I actually didn't go to college.
Well, the school
Follow
of
your
Hard Knocks on the
passion.
street.
Follow your passion.
Bro, funny enough, I always knew that I want to be able to be flexible and not be stuck somewhere. And I actually went to NST, which doesn't exist anymore. It's National School of Technology.
I remember that.
And I took massage therapy.
Oh shit! No shit.
Wow, that was sus.
Yeah, and then I ended up messing up my shoulder at a job I had beforehand, but I never knew how bad my shoulder was messed up until I started going to school, where I was always complaining about my shoulder. I went and got an MRI done, and turned out I had tendonitis of the left shoulder. So they were like, yo, if you keep doing massage, you're gonna your arm's gonna fall off.
Of course.
So I never even took the state exam.
You're not getting that right, bro.
I never ended up taking the state exam, so it's just I did the schooling, and it was what it was. But then photo was something I was already kind of just doing for fun.
Right.
And I mean, like I said, I was always at the car stuff, and it just worked out the way it worked out.
And what was it like? What was it what was that moment that took you from like just taking pictures and doing the car thing to like becoming actual Derick G and having? Because you were the first person I remember, even before we even knew each other. You were like, you got a ton of followers on Instagram. You had all the beautiful women, all from South Florida, taking dope pictures, and you were doing dope content. Like I remember you did something with McDonald's with like a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
And so when was that like transition?
Well, it really happened. I used to work at Palmetto Hospital. That was my last job. It was 2006.
Works everywhere.
That was 2006. That was my last actual like physical it wasn't a 9 to 5, but it was my 40-hour a week job. And that place back then was kind of like a shit show. Yeah. So like as long as you were there and you did what you had to do, they were kind of cool. So I used to bring my laptop to work all the time, and I would work on stuff that I was doing on the side. And mind you, everybody there was viejos and stuff, so like they were interested in what I was doing. I was one of the younger guys there. And one day, one of my nurse managers grabs me and takes me to the back office, and she's like, "Look, I'm only telling you this because I have a son your age, and I would hope that someone would tell him this. Don't get stuck here." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "A lot of people come and work here thinking that this is like a stepping stone to something else. And, you know, nursing will swallow you up. Like, don't get stuck here." And mind you, I wasn't a nurse. I was, they call it a unit secretary or a unit clerk. Basically, you're the person that would be like, "Hey, can you send the nurse to the room?" Like, the person you complain to, maybe there with a tie or like a suit. Yeah. And she's like, "Don't get stuck here. People get stuck here." I said, "All right, cool." I went home. I spoke to my old girl. We talked about it. The next day, I showed up with my 2 weeks notice. I gave it to her. She's like, "What's this?" I was like, "My 2 weeks." She's like, "Wow, you took it seriously." I was like, "You know better than I do. You're the big dog here, and you're telling me don't get stuck here? You're the source." So I bounced, and I never looked back. That was 2006. That's awesome. 16 years ago.
What did you do right after that?
I was already kind of in and out, like on certain set. No, I'm lying. I wasn't on set yet. I was doing some sets, but I was booking a lot of cars to be on set. So I understood that game. Back then, it was MySpace. So like, no one cared about taking pictures on set. Right. So like they would encourage it because no one had like proof that they were on set. So everybody was real cool with me shooting. And then back then there used to be a barbershop on Biscayne that I met the owners, and they were like, "Hey, you know, we'll give you the freedom to do whatever you want. I just need you to be here to open and close." I said, "All right, cool, perfect." So as long as I was there to open and I was there to close, you could do whatever you needed to do. So it was the freedom that I needed. There was a fixed amount every week. And part of my dues, I had to collect rent from everybody. And from the rent, I pull my money out and leave the rest in an envelope. So I was like, easy. Like I knew my money was guaranteed. Yeah. I can kind of plan my life around that and still do what I had to do. And mind you, I was still living at home. The only thing is, like, obviously driving from Hialeah to Biscayne Boulevard was a hell of a drive. Yeah. But, you know, you got to thug it out and whatever. I did that, and I would run errands for the owner. And one day he's like, "Yo, go drop this off at the beach." And they always took the 195 because they wanted to be in and out. I would take the 395 because I like the view. Yeah. One day I'm driving, I'm going over the bridge, and I see in Watana, I see a bunch of trailers. I see like a yellow Lambo from the bridge. I was like, "Oh, let me see what that is." So I go out, pull over. They're filming We Taking Over for Khaled.
So nice.
So I had my camera. So I just jumped on. I took a couple of pictures, and then I dipped. I ran my errand, and I went back to the shop. And I told the owners, I was like, "Oh, they're filming, you know, this video there." Like, "Oh, was there?" I was like, "Oh, I saw Bun B. I saw Akon, Khaled. Cool and Dre were there." And they're like, "Oh, we know Akon." I was like, "Fuck it, y'all want to go back? Let's ride." And so we went back, and I was able to get a lot more shots and whatever. We got to hang out. I see this tall white dude there, and I have no idea who he is, but I see him talking to everybody, whatever, and he happens to be in a bunch of my pictures. Yeah. Crazy shit is, I'm on MySpace, and you know how it would recommend certain people. Right. And I was like, "Yo, that was the dude that was on set." Turns out it's Gil Green.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then I just send him the photos, and I'm like, "Hey, I happen to pop into your set. Here are a couple photos I got of you or whatever." I send him, "Oh, cool, man. If you're ever around, say what's up." Like 2 weeks later, another mentor of mine happened to hit me up. Is this dude Judd Allison that I had met him, which was Gil's partner.
I know Judd that owns 305 Films.
Yeah, Toe Jam. He owns Toe Jam.
Toe Jam. Yeah, I know Judd.
He hits me up. He's like, "Yo, I need like 40 cars for a music video." So I lined up the cars for them, whatever. The cars went to set. I just showed up to kind of like make sure the cars were there or whatever. And I said, "Oh, who's directing?" He's like, "Oh, Gil Green is." I'm like, "Oh shit, where's he at?" So I walk over and I introduce myself. And he's like, "Oh man, do you happen to have your camera?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's in the car." He's like, "Oh, do you want to take some pictures?" I'm like, "Sure." He's like, "Oh, if anybody says anything, you're here with me." Bro, and then that's how I got on set. And then I started, you know, I would get booked. I would always be booked for cars or get booked to book cars. And I would always bring my camera. And then one day he's like, "Hey, look, we don't need cars, but do you want to just come in and do behind the scenes?" And I'm like, "All right, cool." And that kind of escalated into like, all right, the car guy and the behind the scenes guy. And then you're shooting on set. Everybody wants pictures. So I started taking pictures of the girls on set. And then that's how I started building my network with the girls. I'll go to another video. It's like, "Damn, we need like 3 video girls. You know anybody?" I was like, "Oh, actually, I do." Nice. So I started texting them. I was like, "Hey, you want to be in a video?" Saw the girls that were in the other video, so I know they're down for that. So and that's how I started. So I would triple dip on sets. I would get paid to do behind the scenes. I'd get paid for the cars, and I would middleman, like I would broker the girls. So it was just like I was eating on every video set. So.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it's a great way to get your start, dog. You just you really just put yourself in the right situation and
being prepared for sure.
Oh yeah, exactly. Definitely being prepared.
Yeah, so he was at work with the camera already. He was like, if anything happens, well, I'll snap it.
Yeah, that's how it was before. I mean, at the same time, there wasn't I don't say there was no competition, but it wasn't a thing. It wasn't a hustle yet. Right. It was an art form. I mean, it's still an art form to me, but now a lot of people see it as a hustle, and they're not wrong because there is opportunity. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just came right now from shooting Tyler Hero. And there was a kid there. I introduced myself. He goes, I know who you are. You're a legend. My boy that I'm with, Juice. He's like, nice. He slid into homie's DMs, and that's how he got to work. And it's first come first serve. You hustle and you come through and you prove it. You do anything. You know what I mean? You know that firsthand. Both of y'all know that firsthand. You know what I mean? So
and you really but you really did it in a dope way. You know what I mean? By actually showing face and putting yourself out there and doing that. You know what I mean? Because not a lot of people take that step.
I think what it was is my branding was big. A lot of people don't understand brand, or they don't understand themselves as a brand. I think that was a big thing, putting my signature on everything. Right. And people didn't know. I hid my face for a long time. I wouldn't show who I was, but I would wear a jacket or a hoodie, and then people would even be scared, yo, are you so and so? And it's but then it would be great when I would the first time I ever interviewed Drake, I introduced myself hey, I need a drop. And he's if you ever see an old clip, he's like, oh, when you see that red and that black and you see that signature, it's legit. So I was like, oh, he knows who I am. But mind you, this is 2009. But at least I was like, all right, cool, this kid from Canada knows who I am. You know what I mean? Obviously we didn't know who
some noise.
Yeah, people are paying attention and whatnot. And even I used to do if you watch my old videos, you would hear an airplane sound when my signature would come out. And funny enough, a story from a girl I went to high school with says one time she was walking through her house and she hears the airplane sound. She went back to look at it, and just confirms her little brother was watching one of my videos on YouTube.
Oh, no shit.
So she's awesome. So just the tying in and the branding aspect, I think, was something that I guess most photographers are out here trying to come up. You obviously had your OGs like a Jonathan Mannion that's, did, all the Jay-Z covers and stuff like that. But, I guess from the young guys, from the new generation, there wasn't really anybody building a brand.
Right.
You know what I mean? And my whole thing behind the signature was, to me, that was my art. So the way an artist signs their paintings, I would sign my photos. Right. That's where that came up from. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I got a ton of Derick G photos, dog, of being in action. But you were saying you weren't you weren't the first one to do it, but I think you were the first one kind of creating content in a time when content wasn't what it is now. You know what I mean? Now content is king and everybody's out there with a camera and doing, whatever they can do. But you were kind of doing it before that time.
I think what helped a lot, is the subject matter. And what I mean by that is being on set was a big thing and no one was getting behind the scenes. A lot of people were focused more on getting the shot of the artist versus getting the shot of the people taking pictures of the artist. And when it became behind the scenes, everybody felt better. All the behind the scenes guys, all the DPs and the directors were happy to be oh, there's someone taking pictures of us working. Yeah. Right. So there was a welcoming to me. It's they knew if I came on, they were going to get pictures of them working. Everyone else that came was just trying to get the celebrity.
Of course.
So then you got to take care of the people who allow you on set. Tom Marvel, one of my mentors, he's a big DP. He did still DRE. He's a big dog.
Damn.
He was the only DP, and he told me that I was the only person ever to ever sit on his dolly with him, which is the dolly. He's what they move them back and forth. He would literally tell them, put another chair for me so I can get my shots. Because he knew that I would cover their ass and make sure that all the workers got their photos of them on set, because if they pull out their phone, they would get in trouble or it's not professional. So at least I would come in and, make sure that they all got their shots, all the guys that are in the back end that really make it happen. So that was a good avenue too for me.
Absolutely. That's badass, bro. Oh yeah. And how did you get the McDonald's gig?
Well, no, that was just me having fun.
Oh no shit! Yeah, that was your own thing.
Yeah, that was just me having fun, and we did the billboard. It was Basel 2013 when I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna invest and I'm gonna do this billboard." And we did it. It was an abandoned building, which is now it changed, but it used to be Concrete Brewery on 24th.
Yeah.
They had bought it, but they were still building it out, so the building was still ransacked on the outside. So I just told my guy, "Yo, bolt it onto that building, so if somebody comes, it's not on my building." And we did it, and I got note from a security guy that happened to be on a job across the street, and he's like, "Yo, the head of McDonald's is a client of mine, and he saw it. It got to him that he saw it, and he smiled. He laughed about it. Story. I don't know how accurate that is, but I don't know why someone would just run up to me and tell me that.
It's better that than a cease and desist letter or something.
Hell yeah.
But good thing about cease and desist, at least I know they saw it too.
Right. That's true. That'll be like, that'll be for sure.
I would have framed it.
Yeah. All right, and I know you've always been big into like collecting shit too, man.
Yeah. I'm a hoarder.
Yeah.
I love old Miami stuff. I mean, you see, this is original.
You had the vintage store for a while.
Yeah, so I mean, still do it now. We're just doing more pop-ups. I'm actually going to be on camp. I'm going to be at UM tomorrow, just doing all UM vintage for the students. So shout out to my boy Jay from Tacos and Tattoos, letting me do the pop-up over there. Another Miami guy, super legit. It's hard to find. It sucks, but it's so hard to build with people down here. Like the animosity and the insecurities down here suck. And, so when you do find people here that, understand and get it, and they want to help, that want to build, because at the end of the day, helping is doing somebody a favor. Building is you both are putting it in because you guys understand the benefit. So I'm never looking for no one to help me. I'm always looking to build with people. I mean, even when we worked together, it was more of a building opportunity. Something new for me. It was something that helped you. And like, look, you're still rocking the Mustang. So it's happy to me. It's happy for me. And, we teamed up with Fricks to execute that. I sat with Fricks on the computer and we knocked it out. And every time I see it on you, it's like, all right, dope, he's still rocking with it,
No, absolutely.
It's a must. It's a must right there.
I tell everybody, you and Fricks, came up with this, and it was amazing. It was like the first thing they showed me, I was like, I love it. Talking with it. And then you made that video where like the letters come down and it's like somebody growling, an animal growling.
Yeah, the reveal right there.
Yeah. Me and Derick went to Italy together. Badass fight in Milan, Italy. Ran into my friend Axel out there. Remember Axel?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then we went to Colombia too. Had a good time in Colombia.
No, Mexico.
Was it Mexico?
Yeah,
we went to Colombia too. Yeah, we
was touring the world, Derick. We was touring the world.
We were in Mexico and Colombia. We went down and traveled the world, beating up people and taking pictures.
In Mexico.
Yeah,
and then we did Mexico with Playa Carmen, right?
Yeah. Playa Carmen, exactly. Yeah, that was a cool fight that day.
I forgot about Colombia. Holy shit.
Yeah. Hey, and what are you working on now, man? I know you just came from something.
Basel. Yeah. Basel was like my last project that I was on. Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. We got to work with SoundCloud. I was brought in to help curate. Super Cindy hosted the event. So I watched the Cindy episode yesterday.
Awesome.
So
saw me rip it? You saw me rip it?
Yeah. That's it. You got in the cipher. I saw it.
You feel me?
We did great, man. It was a lot of hard work. Shout out to Joey Lawrence and Rami over there at SoundCloud. They got me involved, and I was with them 4 months, I think, before the event, just kind of like curating everything and making sure that we made it like a true Miami experience. We brought the donks out. Nice. Host. I mentioned to them, like, if you're gonna get a host for like the concert, I was like someone like a Super Cindy would be great. And I guess they ran with it because they ended up booking her. You know what I mean? So that was dope. We did the Portrait Studio. Denny's did like a sound booth where people can come and record. They got a BB involved with Circle House. Oh, nice. So he lined up all the producers for it. So it was dope, man. It was a real dope event with them. And then second year that I get now they're Meta. But back last year they were Instagram, so now they're Facebook is Meta now. Right. So second year in a row that we got them as a client, and we're basically shooting Instagram content for Instagram. So I built the whole team for them. Brought my boy Jay out for a Meta thing at Oasis as well. So it was good. Dog Juice was there too. So, it was cool because it's like they're breaking bread with me and I'm able to break bread with my friends and, give them work and like get them involved in stuff. And one of my biggest pet peeves of Basel is that they kick out a lot of Miami artists and like a lot of locals because they want to bring everybody in and give space for the international artists, which I understand. But, one of my biggest fights with them has always been like, give us a street, give us an avenue, give us somewhere where we can shine and share with the rest of the world, Right. Yeah. So I'm just happy to be able to like connect the dots and, break bread with everybody from the crib.
Yeah, and you've always been big on that. You've always been big pushing Miami, which is great, dog. And we love you for that. You said you just came from shooting Tyler Hero.
Yeah, we were actually shooting Tyler Hero today for PSD, the underwear company.
Oh, yeah.
So we did like a little surprise thing where basically we're interviewing people about the product, and then he came out and would like, I say, I'm going to let my boy take a picture of you real quick, and he'll come out with a camera covering his face. Oh, just happens to be a really tall photographer. And then, they would freak out and whatnot, and we just came from doing that. And now it was cool, man. Like, it's just, that's the second time I got to work with him. We did a shoot with him with PSD it was over a year ago now. But yeah, it's cool. Just being able to work with different people in different walks of life, just through different avenues. I've worked with PSD for many years, and obviously as they keep growing, and that's the thing, is you save face with certain people, as they grow, they're going to remember that. So I became their Miami guy. Anytime anything happens in Miami, they call me up and they line it up with me, and I handle it. I'm at a point now where like, I guess I'm a local producer for a lot of these companies, where it's like, instead of having to hire somebody and fly somebody down to kind of, I guess, babysit, they just like, yo, just get Derek will handle it, and then the client will fly in, or sometimes they don't even fly in. They'll just be like, yo, put me on a Zoom, or just call me when you're done. And it's great. They're not over your shoulder. They're not on you. Right. They understand that I'm not going to fuck up. Like, I want you guys to keep coming back, so I'm not going to fuck up. So.
And with the creative, you come up with the creative for the shoots?
It depends. Like, today was the whole surprise factor was like the main factor, but they had like these whole lines that they wanted to do, and then I was like, yo, I have an extra camera there, and I actually happen to be with Gil and Judd at the Miami Heat intro shooting. And Tyler walked in with a disposable camera, and he was just shooting his life with the camera. So when I remember that, I was like, hey, look, I actually saw Tyler not too long ago, and he was taking pictures himself, so why don't we give him the camera? And when he walked in, they offered him, he was like, yeah, I love that idea. So I could have stayed quiet, and we could have gone this thing, and maybe he would have not been as excited to do it. But because it was something that I peeped that he did on his own, and, it was something that he was passionate about. You got to remember, he's a kid. He's 21 years old. He's a chamak, you know what I mean, and in a very good position. And once we gave him that, he loved it. He was into it. He was happy to take the photos, and it was great, easy peasy.
That's dope.
I wanted to ask right quick, Uly, Adi, throughout all these years of being in the game, man, what continues to like keep you motivated?
I mean, photography at this point now, it's something I want to do because I love it, not because I'm getting paid for it.
I feel like that's how you got so much consistency in the beginning, because there is where the consistency came from, because you wasn't just doing it just to do it. You was really...
It wasn't a hustle for me. It's never been a hustle for me.
You was really liking it. So there came the consistency that gave you a brand like that.
That's the difference with me and a lot of people, is that I never did it because it was a check. I'm at a point now, and I've been at a point for a really long time where, like, if I don't want to shoot it, chances are I'm not going to turn down the job. I won't physically shoot it. I'll produce it. And I'll bring one of my guys in, and it's great because I break bread with them, and it's a great opportunity for them, great opportunity for me. Clients happy, so they keep me in the loop. Yeah, nice. But I think it's just more so like 90% of the stuff that people really, really love is the stuff that I shoot because I want to, not because I'm getting paid to do it. So, and you see my Instagram is really, really quiet. It's because 90% of the stuff I shoot now are for clients, and I have to wait for them to release it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like there's things that I said on, by the time they post it, I forgot about it, and I'm on to something else, and I never end up posting it. So it's like people are like, oh, are you? I get asked.
Are you active?
Yeah. Are you still shooting? And I'm like, yeah, I actually shot yesterday, but so.
But I can't tell you about it.
Yeah.
Hey, and I remember you were working with LeBron James for a while too, right?
Yeah, I worked with LeBron his last year in Miami and his first year back in Cleveland.
Oh, how did that go?
It was cool. Different experience. I'm not most people don't know I'm not a sports fan at all. So it's like,
man, you look like you was playing basketball right now with Tyler Hero too.
I'm not a sports fan at all. I really don't care about sports. I've never been into sports. I've always been a car guy. Yeah. So I think what was great is that when they brought me in, I would photograph him as a human being, not an athlete. Yeah. And 90% of the world shoots him as a basketball player. Right. So, I heard from one of his people, one of the reasons he really liked dealing with me or having me around is that I was the only person that never spoke basketball with him. Because I wouldn't know, what the fuck to talk about. Right. So that was like a real cool experience, different, coming from Cash Money, right. With them for 6 years to then go into this professional athlete that, is clockwork.
Discipline.
Discipline is a different animal. Yeah. I tell a story to a lot of people with Cash Money. The first time I ever flew with them, they're like, hey, meet me at the airport at 7. I show up at 6:30 to be safe. They show up at 2 in the morning.
Damn.
I'm sitting there for 7 hours waiting on them.
Oh, shit.
They don't give a fuck about me, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm getting paid for the day, so I just got to shut the fuck up and get paid and chill, Yeah. With LeBron, it'd be different because he'd be like, yo, be at my house by 9. I'd show up at 8, I'd show up at 8:55. He's already walking out his house. Yeah. If I would have shown up at 9, I would have been late. Right. And he'll tell me, hey, we're done at 2. At 1:45, I'd be like, yo, D, you're good. I'll holler at you later. So it was like clockwork. So I'd be able to book other stuff, and like with the Cash Money guys, it's like, okay, I'm here for the day.
Yeah. You don't know what's gonna happen.
With Bron, it was literally clockwork. Like, hey, this is from this time to this time, and I'd be able to book other stuff and be able to do stuff. So it was almost like a reward for dealing with all the headaches. It wasn't even headaches. It's just like the matter of like
how did that come about? How did Cash Money come about?
I was on set of Money to Blow, doing behind the scenes for Universal. At this point, I had already graduated, and I was shooting behind the scenes for the labels because sometimes they wouldn't send reps out, and they just wanted pictures of like things. And I actually took some pictures of Bird and his daughter throwing money at the camera, and he's like, "Oh, let me check them out." So I showed him on the thing, and then his nephew got my number, whatever, and he wanted to order a bunch of prints. Yeah. And I sold him the prints or whatever. Like that was just like one transaction. Then a few months later, he hits me up. He's like, "Oh, can you come by?" And I was like, "All right." So I show up with like all my photo gear. I didn't know what to expect, and it would happen to be it was the year that he gave Wayne $1 million watch. It was for his birthday. It was actually Wayne's birthday. I didn't know. They didn't tell me what it was. And then I was taking pictures of them, cutting the cake or whatever, and I was doing video. And that's when the DSLRs first came out, which are the cameras that look like cameras but do video that everybody has now. Yeah. And I did video of them. So whatever, he's going through all the pictures or whatever. They're all having a good time. They're, toasting champagne and whatnot. We're at what's the studio in North Miami, the big one?
The Circle House?
No.
Hit Factory.
Hit Factory. We're at Hit Factory. And whatever, we're doing that. And he's like, "Oh, can you do video too?" I was like, "Yeah, I did video of you guys." He got real serious. He's like, "What do you mean you did video of us?" He's like, "Let me see the clip." So he went through every clip start to finish to kind of see what I did. He looks at me and he goes, "You a sneaky motherfucker." It's Birdman. Yeah. And I was like, I didn't know what to say. And he goes, "You got a passport?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "We're going to Europe next week for 10 days. What would you charge me to go?" And I was like, he goes, like, "Think about it. I'll holler at you tomorrow." And then because I took that leap and I did that video, he saw that I took the initiative. Nice. He's like, "Yo, this is my guy." And I went with them to Europe for 10 days. And then from then on, I rocked with them to 2015. That was in 2009, and I rocked with them to 2015.
That's awesome. And you know what, man? I've always had a lot of respect for you, too, because you never smoked, you never drank, you never did nothing.
I was talking to Mike about that downstairs.
Yeah. But I know, in that circle of people, you must have been in a cloud of smoke.
I'm sure. At one time, there's only one time that I can say, like, I can say probably we were in New Orleans for a turkey giveaway. And I literally had to get out of the bus because I couldn't breathe. And I get out of the bus, and it looked like a Cheech and Chong thing because it's like the smoke was just coming out. Yeah. And I get out, I close the door, and I come out coughing, and some dude outside like, "Yo, that's that good shit, huh?" And I wasn't even, he thought I was smoking because it's just smoke coming out of my hoodie. It's just like smoke everywhere. And then, I don't know if I felt funny or not. I don't remember, but it was just like, I had to get out because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. If you don't remember, it probably hits you. Yeah. And I think remember you doing some things with Sprite too, no?
Well, no. So funny, for All-Star Week in New Orleans, I was out there with LeBron.
I was out there that weekend too.
I was out there with LeBron and Beats by Dre, and it was Drake's party hosted by Sprite. And I don't know what happened between the teams or whatever, but there was no cameras allowed on the property. That was like the thing. Obviously, I'm walking in with LeBron, so, they get different treatment. They could do whatever they want. I walk in, I see Drake's people. It's all high fives and hugs. And, "Yo, how you been, D? Congrats on, rocking with LeBron or whatever." And I'm like, "Yo, already 3 people have came to me that I can't shoot in here." One of Drake's was like, "Yo, shoot whatever you want. We'll deal with it." I said, "All right, cool, no problem." Literally the only camera there. I'm shooting a bunch of stuff. Long story short, one of LeBron's managers hit me up. They're like, "Yo, Sprite's going to hit you up. They're going to ask you for the footage. And it's cool. We sign off on it. You can send them whatever they want." So I sent them a bunch of footage. They were like, "Oh, we're going to do something for social." Long story short, it became the LeBron Sprite commercial that aired all over TV. And it's like I sold it to them on like a social media rate when it was published. Like it was like, I don't know if it was international, but it was published on every channel during all the playoffs. I saw it like 4 or 5 times during the playoffs.
Damn, and it was like the hokey doke.
Yeah, it was like bittersweet because like, okay, I have a national campaign with my footage. I obviously didn't plan for it. I wasn't shot for that, but they used all my footage to create a national campaign for Sprite with LeBron. And it's like, if you see the commercial, he goes up to it, and right before he says, "What's up, Derick G?" they throw the Sprite bottle in his face.
So you didn't get any credit for that? I mean, you got paid for it, but did you get any credit?
No, I didn't get it. It's not like something that I can, like,
Right.
I'm a DP for that, I guess, But it's bittersweet.
But that's still fire, though.
I put it on my shit. Like, it's my work. So.
In Miami, that's a DP. They call it that pinga. Hey, and I remember you did something with some shoes too. You had some shoes that said Derick G on. Were they Adidas?
No, some slides though. Fila slides.
The Fila slides. That's what it was. I remember those too. Yeah.
So my boy Mel, he's out in Japan now. Shout out to Mel. He linked me up with a buddy of ours that was working at Fila at the time. And they're like, "Hey, would you do a Fila?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm from Miami. I don't want to do a sneaker. I want to do a slide." They're like, "Oh, that's cool. Like nobody ever said they want to do a slide." Like the guy's like, "Oh, perfect. Let's do it." And they basically have to like, you know, everything has to get approved and like there has to be guidelines and all that. So I was like, I can use the F however I want. Like design it and I'll let you know. So I came up with F the rest with the Fila F.
Yeah.
And then on the side I put 305, basically like fuck the rest. It's all about Miami. So as a slide, you know. The cool thing is we only did a friends and family pack, so I think it was like a run of like 25. Oh, nice. So there's only 25 in the world that exist. Nice. So that was
and you got in your collection you got like 5 of them. So
I kept 2.
Okay.
I kept 2.
There's only 20 out there in the world right now.
Yeah. But I kept 2 of them, yeah.
Yeah, I remember Derick had lived in a badass warehouse that he converted into like half an apartment. And he had all his cars parked there and their toys. Yeah. It was a dope spot to be. Yeah, kitchen, everything.
Fucking COVID.
Oh, talking about that, you had 109 cats or something like that.
Oh, yeah. No.
You still got the cats?
I mean, I still got, when I left, I think I took 3 of them with me. 3 of the outside ones with me. 1 disappeared and 2 are still around.
I remember you be in Derick's office just talking business and you're a big ass cat. Come here, start rubbing his ass on your face.
Yeah, that's lucky. That's my dog. He's still around.
Yeah,
that's
awesome, man.
That's the awesome homie. As I found him right over.
No, oh, that's right. I think you told me that story.
I found him hit by a car in Hialeah. And I took him with me. That's why we named him Lucky, and he's still around.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's real 9 lives right there. Yeah. Hey, and you say you're doing pop-ups with the vintage stuff. Where's where can people find the next pop-up?
I mean, just follow on lottery.vintage on Instagram, and we'll announce, like I said, tomorrow. I mean, I'm not sure when this will air.
UM,
but yeah, tomorrow I'll be at UM, and December 15th I'll be at UM again. So in case this goes out before that, we'll be there December 15th as well at Tacos and Tattoos on campus. So it just really depends. Yeah, it really depends, you know, what it is. So
there's the Tacos and Tattoos in UM campus? No shit.
Shout out to Jay, man.
Shout out to him, bro. Absolutely, dog.
Jay, somebody you got to get on here, man. He's a real Miami dude, Kendall dude, like super hardcore Miami, you know, very business-minded.
I actually met him through you when you did your opening for the vintage store and the little window you had at the warehouse. Mm-hmm. He had this little food truck there. And what was funny is like, you know, he runs a taco place, you know, very, very, you know, nice place. And he's like a vegan, I think. At least at that time he was.
Yeah, he's still vegan now.
Okay, yeah. We got into like vegan talk back then because I went through my, you know, dieting for fights. I've gone through all phases of diet, so we got into that talk.
Yeah, Jay's a good dude, and he was one that when he knew what he was. We had done a lot of stuff at his Kendall location, and then when he was in the works, he's like, "Yo, I might get into UM," and I was like, "Bro, the day you get in there, I need to get through the door. I'm trying to get on campus," and he kept his word. He kept his word, and he tried, and we tried to make something happen, and they were tripping on him. And then when they hit me up, they, I got good news. I got the green light. Let's run it.
That's awesome. That's
awesome. He came through, man. You know,
that's badass, dog. Hell yeah. D, dog, I got a question for you.
We've
asked your guest number 103. Next for 104, that would be 2 years that we've been doing our show. We've been asking this question.
Okay.
Do you believe in aliens?
1000%.
1000%.
Damn, that was quick. Right before you even finished the sentence, he knew it was coming.
If you watch the show, you know about it.
No, I mean, I've been blessed, bro. You guys always talk about the pyramids. I've been to the pyramids.
Nice.
And it's like you see them in person, and it's like, how the fuck?
Right.
How the fuck didn't, you know? And funny shit is, I actually was the last person that day. It was crazy. I happened to be in Dubai, and when I was in Dubai, I'm like, man, I want to go to Egypt. I want to go check it out. I just wanted to go for a day or two. I wanted to go to the pyramids, and I wanted to go to the museum because they had like the actual mummies that you could see there. Right. A sandstorm hits in Dubai, and I get stuck at the airport for 6 hours. I couldn't even go to my hotel. Like, we were stuck in the airport, so I couldn't even cancel my flight. They were just like, you have to wait it out. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go. I did the whole thing through like the hotel where like the people pick you up from the airport and everything, just because, you know, I'm going there by myself. I don't know nobody out there, so it's like person waiting at the airport with my name on the thing. I'm like, I'm gonna do this shit to safe. I'm gonna pay the extra money.
So Derick G in Hebrew and shit
to be safe. And then when I get there, the guy's like, hey, we understand you had like the museum and the pyramids booked, but because of your delay, and my flight was going back to Dubai the next morning. I was literally just going for 1 day. They're like, you'd only pick one or the other. It's like, go fuck that museum. That shit'll come around eventually. I got to go see those pyramids.
Yeah.
And when I get to the hotel, I drop my stuff off. I I freshened up real quick, and then we went on. I had a car take me. It was really weird. We're driving, and they're like, oh, we're going to go pick up your tour guide. That was already like suspect thing number 2. What do you mean? Yo, we go like in this giant roundabout, and the guy never stops, and the door just opens, and this guy just jumps in.
What?
He jumps in, he goes, hey, Derick, how are you? So I'm like, what the fuck? This dude, we don't no preparation. Like, oh, this is him. Yeah. Just jumps in the car. He's like, we're going to go to the pyramids, but we're running super, super late. Just when I tell you to run, you run. I'm like, all right, yo. We pull up to the pyramids. He gets out of the car, goes, come on, Derick, run. And like I'm getting out, like grabbing my bag. He's like, no, run. Like it was literally like, as long as you pass through the gate before the gate closes, they'll let you stay.
No shit.
So like if you would have ran in front of me and the gate would have closed between us, even though, he's with us, you're fucked.
That's wild.
Oh,
so we pull in and we're literally the last ones in. We drove up, whatever. We get to the top where everybody takes like the picture where it looks like they're pinching the pyramids or whatever. And he's like, look, you see the cops? There was cops coming up on camels. He's like, they're going to come in, they're going to kick us out. If you want to spend another 30 minutes here, jump on this camel here, and they'll take you around the pyramids where cars can't go, and at least you'll get another 30 minutes, you know, and we'll wait for you on the other end. Wow. I said, all right, cool, I'll take that. And I just walked in, there was literally nobody behind us. I was able to get a really dope photo of the camels with the pyramids because there's nobody in the background, there's nobody there. And then we're walking with the dude that's walking me with the camel. The camel's very uncomfortable. Like I ended up telling the guy, like, go stop, I'd rather walk. He's like, yo, it's like a 30-minute walk. I was like, I'd rather walk. Let me get off. He's wearing a Sacramento Kings hat, but it's faded and burned from being in the desert.
Yeah, one of these Goodwill hats and shit.
Yeah, I'm wearing this badass Miami Heat hat. He goes, I like your hat. Can I have it in the middle of the desert? What am I telling him? No. So I was like, look, I'll give you my hat, but you got to let me take a picture of you with the hat. He's like, all right, no problem. So he posed for me. I gave him the hat, posed for me. So I have this really dope photo of this dude holding a camel with the pyramids behind him wearing a Miami Heat hat.
That's nice.
So like, that was real cool. So like,
that's awesome.
So I got to see it all the way around, and to think that those things were built, you know, by human without machinery is insane. It's insane.
Did you feel anything? Is there any frequency, vibration,
energy?
It was just hot.
It was hot. I don't know if it was the energy or the sun, but it was hot.
There's actually a new show on Netflix called Ancient Archaeology.
Yeah.
And they go, you seen it with Graham Hancock? It's sick, dog. And I just said, that's just been irking me since I was a kid. I think about that shit left and right. Like, how the fuck was this possible, you know?
Yeah.
And in that show, they talk about all of that stuff?
All of it. All of the weird shit, they talk about it. Everything we did on Earth that fucking, even shit that I never even knew, heard about. It's badass.
Damn, you ever
Joe Rogan has a lot of cool shit on his podcast. He brings a lot of good people where they talking about like.
He brought that guy, Graham Hancock, and they talked about all that shit. And he knows how to ask great questions and everything.
Yeah. Have you ever seen anything flying in the air and shit like that? You travel the world, D.
Not that I could think of, like, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Hey,
what day is today? What day is today?
Today is Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. That's because it's Wednesday, champ.
Now, you know what? I've been dieting for the last 3 days, dog, and that shit always affects me.
Get this man a snack.
For real, I need.
Give me the Snickers right there. Give me the Snickers.
I need something to eat. No, and I was thinking about the fucking aliens, dog.
Damn, you know. Now that you said something to eat,
we need to bring one on the show.
Now you said the aliens and something to eat. Now I'm thinking about the tacos too, bro.
Oh,
like, damn,
that's fire.
That's a good place to go to.
There's not one around here, right?
Yeah, right there on 104.
Right there,
right there on 104.
What I was gonna say was when we were in Italy together, that we woke up super early one day. We went to that dope ass cathedral in Milan
with the picture with the
we took some dope ass pictures, and there was one where I was jumping rope, remember? and I smacked the pigeon with a jump.
We got that shit in slow mo.
I got it there. You know what? I'm posting that tomorrow.
That's just crazy.
Italy was dope. I appreciate you taking me out there, man. That was a dope experience. And then the homie Days got to meet us out there as well.
Yeah.
And me and Days got to go explore. I think we did Milan and Venice with you guys.
That's
and then
right.
me and Days dipped, and we did Rome, Pompeii, the Amalfi Coast.
That's right. You guys even found some girls out there and got some shots out there too.
We ended up shooting in Rome. We shot in Rome. I shot in Milan and in Rome.
Yeah, I remember. And I remember. Because Days was on the show actually. We had Days on. I've been talking to Days lately a lot. But yeah, it was a badass trip, dog. It was a dope trip. Venice was dope.
Venice is real dope.
Dope, but it's packed like Disney World, dog.
I ain't never been there.
Imagínate, it's a whole.
How was that?
Insane. Yeah, it looks like a movie set. It doesn't look real.
Yeah,
damn.
It does. It does. Hey, I'm talking about packed like Disney World. Every Chinese tourist out there with cameras too. Everybody.
It was slammed. But dope city.
It was very dope, brother. What advice would you have for a young Derick G out there, man, on the trying to come up?
I tell everybody, passion over paycheck. Don't try to follow the money. Because you're never going to find it. It's always going to run from you. You got to just do what you do, and the money's going to come at you when it's ready.
That's true.
So I just think it's one of those things where it's like, if you consider it a hustle, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like, you're just doing it because you're trying to make money. You're never going to fall in love with nothing if it's just for the money.
Right.
So I just think, like, that's just kind of general. But with the photography stuff, I mean, find your lane, Stop trying to copy other people's stuff. Like, stop trying to, because what happens is if too many people are doing the same thing, clients are going to get tired of it and they're just going to go look for something different. So you might as well work on something different and just wait your turn.
It's hard to create new things nowadays, isn't
it? Not really. I mean, creation is in the eye of the beholder. Right. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day,
that was a gem right there. Woo. It's in the eye of the beholder.
It's you do, to me at least, I can't obviously speak for others, but to me it's like I do what feels right. You know what I mean? If I never worried about, oh, this person's not gonna like my technique, or this person's not gonna like, like I tell people, I'm not a technical person at all. I wasn't educated in photography. This is just something I'm passionate about, and I learned it and I did it. Like, I still to this day, like, I see all the video guys have Ronins. Like, I've never used one of those things. I've never had a gimbal. I had an iPhone one that we took to Italy,
right,
I filmed you once running, and I never used that shit again. I'll take it to like make better videos, and it's no menace. It's not something natural to me. I like the handheld look, and funny enough, I was talking to Juice about it earlier. I would get hired for that style. People would want that shaky look for certain things to feel real. Right. People want everything to look like a music video. Now they're going to the bathroom and they want to do a slow motion shot walking into the toilet. You know what I mean? It's like, then when you watch something that's cinematic, it does the same impact. Because I just saw something with a toilet earlier that looks the same. So you lose that, so I actually got booked for second camera for Pitt and Neo's Time of Our Lives.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I got booked in for second camera for that. The DP and the director were Gail and Joel Abisi. They're like, hey, you want to do second camera? And I'm like, hell yeah. So it's like they threw a camera on my shoulder and I got to jump in the crowd and like perspective of a person, a real experience. And that's the shit that I love. But once again, it went back to that. I never set out a goal to be a camera guy for a music video. Right. But they were like, hey, it's a specific style. Hey, do you want to do it? So the money came to me. I got booked for that.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So I just think people are just in a hurry. I've been doing this since 2006 professionally. It's almost 20 years later and I'm still here. But, when I started, it wasn't a hustle. It was literally something that I like to do. And, none of my friends were really doing it. And funny enough, I had an acquaintance now that told me we were friends back in the days. And he admitted to me once, when I messed up my shoulder, I ended up coming up on some money. And instead of putting hydraulics on my car, I actually went and bought my first camera, my first MacBook. Nice. And my friends, he told me years later after I came up, he's like, yo, we used to make fun of you, that you fucked up and you could have had your car done. But you went ahead and you did it and you changed the game. And now we all work for somebody and you over here traveling the world and doing that shit. So he owned up to it.
That's awesome.
And, he would let me know that, that they were all proud. And he's like, we don't tell you, but, we're proud of you as your friends. So I thought that was real cool. But it's like, I've never worried about what the next man's doing. I've never worried about following trends. I've always kind of just done my own thing, and it's always worked out for me.
Yeah, you're a trendsetter, bro.
Hell
you're
yeah.
a trendsetter.
I appreciate that. Well, what's funny that what's funny now is people call me an OG, and that feels weird. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're an OG, and I was like, am I? And it's like, well, I guess 20 years in the game, and
heavy in the game.
So it's an honor, but it's weird. It's hard for me to take that in.
Didn't you shoot Pitt when we did the Welcome to Miami video too?
I was on set, and I'm actually in the video. Funny enough,
wasn't that 03 or something?
I don't even remember. I tried. Somebody asked me the other day, and I couldn't remember. I found the video online. You found it on YouTube, but I can't remember when we shot it. I remember being on set very vividly, but I don't. The first thing I think I ever shot of Pitt was I Chico, because I provided the car. I provided the 75 that he's driving through the video, and I took a photo that I actually printed for the SoundCloud thing. And that was the first time I think I ever photographed Pitt on set. I had met with him. I had dealt with him in the past. And that's how I got on set for Welcome to Miami. But professionally shot him was that. I think the first picture I ever took with him was me and him at the strip club Angels.
Yeah.
We used to be by Tootsie's back in the days.
I remember that, yeah.
And it was on my 18th birthday, funny enough.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Talk about birthdays, man. What's up with Scorpio Bash?
I'm scheduled
classic.
to do it. I'll be my 40th birthday next year. It's scheduled to come up.
I was at the last one.
Yeah. 35th? That was my 35th.
Yeah, I was at the last one dressed like fucking Rocky. Because
it was an 80s theme.
Yeah.
It was an 80s Narcos party.
That's right. You had bundles of money and fake dope.
Yeah.
People would be looking forward to Scorpio Bash, bro.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick, dog.
All year long.
It was the only time I would actually party. The only time I would actually do a party. I mean, I would do promotions and stuff like that for events, but it was an actual party. So it's I tell people I never asked you to come party. The one night I'm asking you to just come through.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was always good.
So is next year Scorpio Bash?
It's supposed to be. We'll see when we get closer.
Exclusive right there. That's a Don't Blink exclusive.
I'm going home and making a calendar, dog. Counting down. Hey, my brother Derick, man, it's amazing to have you on, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you for everything you've done for me, man, personally, and just what you've done in the industry itself, bro. You are an OG, as weird as it sounds.
That's
dog.
really weird.
Pioneer too.
Hey, what was more weird, when they call you OG, when they call you dad?
He doesn't talk yet, so.
That'll be the next weird one, bro.
Yeah.
But congratulations on all your success, my brother.
Appreciate everything.
It's been amazing to be a small part of it, and have traveled the world with you and be on the other side of that camera lens with you, dog.
I know, man. I appreciate it. And obviously, like I tell everybody, whether I rock with you or not, everybody has a reason in a season, like they say.
Absolutely.
And the things worked out the way they worked out for us, and it's been great. And like I was even talking to Jen and Mike downstairs about seeing how you've grown and how things have changed for you, and even you with your hustle. As long as I've seen you guys, and with Carcan and Cito and those are the homies, and like seeing you guys grow with this stuff and run with it. And I remember when you guys first started, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna sit back here and watch it. And I would text you every now and then, like, yo, keep going, and see that you guys are over 100 episodes now. So like, super happy for you guys.
Thank you so much, man. Over 100 episodes consistent, dog. We haven't missed one Tuesday, and 102 now. You'll be 103.
Yeah, but
so
let people understand that consistency is key.
Consistency is key, and that was the first thing that we said in our first meeting when we sat down before we ever put out an episode. Was like, if it's not gonna be consistent, if people can't count on you to be there on the time you say you're gonna be there every time, then it's not worth it.
Count on you is the biggest part. I've had people that don't fuck with me. Told me the one thing about Derick, at least he always comes through. He says what he's gonna do.
That's right.
Like, he does what he says he's gonna do. Most people say shit and they don't come through. Even if you don't fuck with me, I can't. You gotta give credit where credit is due. And consistency and coming through is what it is. If people can count on you, you're in the game. You might not even fuck with a person and know that, well, at least he's going to come through. Like, you'll deal with them and whatnot. And at least that could be business. That could be relationship, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But that's a big part on, like, just making sure you're there for those that need you. You know what I mean?
Hey, well, let's hit it up, PSD. I need a commercial, some underwear, too. My brother, amazing having you on. Nothing but blessings and success to you, dog. And we want you back on Don't Blink soon, dog.
Let me know. I'm here.
All right, my brother. Love. Thank you for watching Don't Blink Podcast. Meet the kid.
Wow.
Derick G, the OG, in the building, baby. Don't blink, mofos.
Wow. Cool, man. Appreciate it.
Of course, dog. Appreciate you, my brother. I think me and Two Nights got something great going on. We got some great guests coming up. It's going to be dope. We got some dope people that already signed up to do it with us, which is great. A lot of people show us love, and it's because we love them back for sure.